$20.
You've done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but you all got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we're talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on cardstock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt. Cause the market's down and you're down, it's all false. You ruin the hobby I love with the bullshit. Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Did you dip me out? I think you dipped you out. What you talking about? I don't think you did, deal. It's just the same shit like a GOBs, like it's wholesale thing with the mid-actives. Taking money from the people that pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay. He's getting money, even better tax-free. Loving all stimulus, the PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. What's going on with that PPP? You've done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but you all got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we're talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on cardstock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt. Cause the market's down and you're down, it's all false. You ruin the hobby I love with the bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Did you dip me out? I think you dipped you out. What you talking about? I don't think you did, deal. It's just the same shit like the GOBs, like it's wholesale thing with the mid-actives. Taking money from the people that pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay. He's getting money, even better tax-free. Loving all stimulus, the PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson.
What is going on, everybody? Hopefully, guys are doing well out there. That is right. We are back again here on Sports Card Radio. We are going to be putting on our prosecutor hats and investigating the misdemeanors and felonies of the sports card influencers out there that have been pumping and telling you to buy cards. They never tell you to sell, but they've been pumping and telling you to buy all these different quarterbacks and power forwards and centers and point guards. And all we want to do here on Sports Card Radio is find the truth and find who's guilty or innocent in the sports card world when it comes to sports card investing. Ron and I have been buying and selling trading cards for longer than most of you guys have been out of your diaper, let alone been collecting cards since Jeff Wilson got back into the hobby and told you to start buying at the peak of a market. We have been buying and selling on eBay, on Check Out My Cards, on Golden, on eTops, on the Pit, Sports Lots, Facebook marketplaces, OfferUp, and more recently at the card shows. We've been showing up, selling out. We invented the selling your entire table and dipping and going home. We invented a lot of things in this hobby we don't get credit for, but we'll do our best to take credit for everything tonight. Folks, it is now 8:35 on the East Coast. Many of you guys are probably going to be simulcasting, watching Luka Doncic try to put away the Timberwolves. My DMs and Instagrams and mentions have been filled with people that bought Luka at the height of the market and have just been trying and waiting for this man to finally do something that his cards have had priced in for the last 3 or 4 years. Not win an MVP, not actually win a actual game of any importance, but actually make it to the NBA Finals, which is actually not that great of an achievement. If you look at the history of the NBA, many players have made it to the NBA Finals. Many players have even won a single title. Many of you guys are not fans of the Los Angeles Lakers, where we don't even pay attention until it's game 1 of the NBA Finals. Some of you guys are Kings fans. Some of you guys are WNBA fans, but after looking at this fine young lady, I wouldn't blame you for tuning into a game or two. Super producer Tim is probably a couple inches deep into something. Certainly not here on the program quite yet. Sound like maybe after he busts one, he'll be on the program, but we are joined. Looks like, Ryan, you're still the fresh Prince of Bel Air. How are we doing tonight?
Everything is fabulous. I actually hung out with super producer Tim today down in Hermosa Beach. We had breakfast. We consumed some now legal narcotics on the beach of California, and he will probably be joining us later as he was out perusing the females that are in abundance out here in California. I did see, speaking of WNBA, I did go to a WNBA basketball game and check out our girl Cameron Brink of the Los Angeles Sparks. She had a quite fabulous game going until the ref decided to tack her with 4 fouls. So it looks like the WNBA refs still need some training on who to give fouls to and who not to. Who are we there to see? Who are we not there to see? So I think she finished with like 20 points, but impressive watching her out there play basketball. I think she's 6'4" for all those guys who are wondering. And so, yeah, quite an impressive lady. That's for sure. And yes, we do have a lot going on in the sports card world. We've got a lot going on in the sports world. Luka Doncic is going for that illustrious first title with the help of Kyrie Irving. So we'll see if they are able to make the finals. Just because they make the finals, I wouldn't do a lot of chirping yet. They'd probably be an underdog to Boston, but we can get into that if that indeed comes to fruition. But the Big Cuz Music channel with the $50 says Celtics in 5 regardless. So whether Minnesota mounts a miraculous comeback or Luka Doncic fulfills his dream of becoming an NBA champion, we shall see. He says Boston in 5 regardless. I do notice that even if you have held your Luka Doncic cards for all this time, they have only gone up, according to Card Ladder, 4% in the last month. So despite
Really?
the little run Mr. Crybaby is on, and they're still down 21% for the year. So that's probably why the chirping is kind of minimal, because it really doesn't matter. He could probably average 40 in the finals. And they made so many of these cards. These cards were bought into so long ago. You can see the peak of this Luka Doncic chart around 2021 and 2022. And they have not recovered in that time period. You could also see the sales volume as well. In the last 2 years, his cards are down on average 56%. This takes into account 731 different Luka Doncic cards. So I'm sure if they will be making the finals, we will be talking about him quite a bit in the next couple weeks. But yeah, it doesn't look like just because they're making a little run here. Now, maybe certain cards are going, quote, up in value, but we're not seeing explosive growth like you did with Anthony Edwards, who people put 6 rings on his finger in the last few weeks. His cards are up 52% in the last 3
I'd be a
months.
seller of his cards. I'd be if I had any of his cards, I'd be a seller. Not that I don't like Anthony Edwards or I don't like his game. I certainly do. But his game is, and he's going to get a lot better. I don't exactly know how old he is. He's probably in his early 20s, obviously, but his game is not nearly as refined as it needs to be going forward. So I'd be a seller of his cards, pocket some of those wins, and go from there.
Yeah, so we can get into all that. As you can see, his cards have rocketed up in value, whereas Luka cards in the last few months really haven't budged. So we can get into all that. I've got some baseball players we can talk about. We do have some video footage. I mean, you come to Sports Card Radio probably for a few things. A lot of people, it's probably to chat with these people in the chat room, maybe to hear about the stories of Christine and Tim. A lot of people, though, come to Sports Card Radio because they want to see footage of breakers, opening cards, and where we question if anything shady is going on. And so we have footage from none other than Backyard Breaks to review today. So I'm sure we're very excited to get into all of that. But I wanted to ask you, Mr. Paul Carl, fan of the show, tongue in cheek says on Twitter, he said, I used to be a fan of Sports Card Radio, but they've really gone way too far now that they're outbidding me on Michael Jordan autograph or Michael Jordan lots. If I ever run into you guys at a card show, I'll go buy some flip-flops and we can settle this like men. So I want to get your update on buying Michael Jordan cards, flipping them for sale on eBay. How many cards we sold this week? Are you still loving life over there?
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely
Michael
crushing
Jordan
it.
cards?
Yeah. And I mean, I have a real job, so it's not like I can just spend all day listing cards and stuff. In fact, I haven't listed a lot of cards more recently. I don't know my last 7-day totals, but I'm probably selling. Hold on one second.
I've speaking as somebody who will be doing a lot of listing, my Ricoh FI 8170 is arriving, I believe, tomorrow. So hopefully that'll be on my doorstep as I get home. But have you been selling a lot of cards? Is it all Michael Jordan? What other cards?
I would say it's probably 80-90% Michael Jordan, only because that's what I've been actively buying more recently. And I'll do a show, I'll do a podcast on the Clips channel probably next week, either later this weekend or next week. I think I might have some free time where I'm going to show you exactly the lots that I bought. So I'll show you the exact eBay auction, and I'll show you eBay auctions where I paid $20 or $30 for about 20 Michael Jordan cards, but there's 1 or 2 cards in that lot that are worth way more. I bought one lot where it was maybe $30 for 20 cards or so, and there's one card in there that's worth $70 to $100 all day long. I bought a lot more recently where there were 2 Topps Chrome cards one Topps Chrome card and a USA Olympic card. Both of those cards sell all day long for $20 to $30 all day long, and I got the entire lot for like $25, $30. This happens a lot with Michael Jordan. And then I picked up a huge 300 card lot. I mean, the stack's over here. A huge 300 card lot of Jordans where inside were, and I did just some loose calculations, there was about 4 cards worth $50 to $60 each. And I think I paid $300 and something for all 75, 80 cards. And so, with Michael Jordan, unlike any other athlete, I think there's so many of his cards out there, and people actually kept him in very good condition as well. It's not like some of these cards where you get them and they're completely mangled. I mean, you get some ones with some ding corners and whatever, but Michael Jordan cards typically in very good condition because they went in sleeves, they went in top loaders right when you got them. And yeah, I've been just unloading them. I mean, I'll give you my 90-day stats, which are pretty much, this is probably more or less for like about 40 or 45 days. I have about 2,000 in sales. I've sold 239 listings, but it's more cards than that because sometimes you're selling on a sold item. You might be selling 4, 5, 6 cards at once. I still have about 900 active items. I've noticed with the standard envelope, you're going to get ones that don't get delivered, and you're going to get ones that get sent back to you. More often than not, they get sent back to you. And so I would, off of 200 and some odd listings that I've sold, I've probably gotten back about 4 in the mail. And so there's some failure rate when it comes to the standard envelope, but we're talking about $4 or $5 cards most of the time. And so I just hit the snap refund button. And if I get the card back, I get the card back and I can relist it. And if I don't, that's it. So it's been fun. It's something I've been doing in my spare time. I have to watch the news and things like that. And so while you're sitting here kind of watching that, or maybe listen to a podcast or watching a webinar or something, there it is. So it's been good. Mostly Michael Jordan, but look, if the Michael Jordan business gets crowded or, it dries up or whatever, then there's a number of other athletes and other things you can pivot to. I was just telling you about, Check Out My Cards, how you can get on there. There's an arbitrage, I think, opportunity on Check Out My Cards where you can buy on Check Out My Cards if you're willing to wait 2 months for the cards to be shipped to you. If you're playing in kind of that $1, $2 card range, you can, there's an arbitrage spread. Just like, all about this. You can buy on StubHub and you can sell on Ticketmaster. You can buy on the 49ers website and go sell on StubHub. You can go buy on the LSU website and go sell it on Ticketmaster or whatever. You know what I mean? So there's this whole arbitrage thing. And I think with Check Out My Cards, they're delayed on their standard shipping. And so for a lot of these cards that are under $4 or $5, maybe even $10, the standard shipping is the only thing that really works. Now they're completely caught up on their premium shipping. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm trying to find refractor cards and stuff that actually sell, stuff that's actually pretty rare. Like I bought a bunch of Deion Sanders refractor cards because it's like, okay, on Check Out My Cards, they're $10 to $15 lower than what they sell for on eBay. And we're moving into like Deion Sanders season here very, 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 very soon. And so I'm on there just buying that. And I think the other thing that we're seeing, Ryan, is on Golden, when we were like, man, Golden's on fire. We were like buying everything we possibly could on Golden, right? I think what's happening is the repackers are on here every Thursday night. And I'm just noticing that it's hard to find stuff for under basically what I would consider a retail price on Golden. And so, and more or less kind of what we've been buying on there is like, it's like stuff that I'd like to just hold. And so I think there's multiple strategies you can be playing right now. If you're playing in kind of the higher end, maybe like $25, $30 cards and more. And look, that's a high-end card. People like think high-end baseball cards is $500 or more. No, the vast majority of cards are worth nothing or like a penny. There are some cards worth like $1, and there's very few cards that are worth like $20 or more. And so anything above that, a lot of these repackers, anything slabbed and graded, anything with a patch or an autograph, anything modern, I mean, you're just getting repackers. I've been noticing as well. I've been getting more offers on things like stuff that we have that's slabbed and graded. We're getting way more offers. And I sold some cards this week that I had sitting around for like the last 4 months, and I sold them for maybe like a 20 or 30% profit or so. I bought them probably 3 or 4 months ago, and then they've just kind of been sitting, and then you get these offers. And so if you're playing in the slabbed game, I would be very patient on your pricing, because these repackers, the pressure is on that they have to buy more and more cards every month. And we're seeing more and more people are getting into repack. And so the demand for these secondary kind of slabbed autograph cards is huge. And so I would be patient. I wouldn't be in any rush to sell my cards. I would only be trying to get full retail. And for the most part, that's what we're seeing out there. But it's an interesting market. You're obviously also moving, and we're kind of bouncing around on topics here, but you're also moving into the peak show season. So we're moving into the National, obviously, just like 2 months away. And if you got a table at the National, if you've got a table at Fanatics, what are you going to be doing right now? You're going to be accumulating inventory because you want to show up at the National, you want to show up at Fanatics, and you want to have stuff on your table. Okay. Also, Burbank Card Show. So, I mean, we got the 3 biggest shows happening in like a 4-week. When is the National this year? It is July 24th. So you've got July 24th to 28th. You got the National. Then there's like 2 weeks off. And then you've got like Fanatics Fest right in the middle of August. Okay. August 16th through the 18th. And then literally the weekend after that, you've got the Burbank show. And I know guys that are going to be hitting, guys and girls that are going to be hitting all 3 of these in like a 30-day time frame. And so what are they doing? They're on eBay trying to get stuff there because, if you hear the stories from the National, hear stories from Burbank, man, there's people that roll around there and they're paying full price and they're paying cash. And so that's a music to the ears of a lot of sports card dealers. Full price, cash. And you can also go these obviously and do trades. You can do a lot of different things if you have the right inventory. And so people are building up their inventory. I don't necessarily think we're in a buyer's market right now. Obviously, if you're setting up the show, you don't really have a choice. I think we're more in a seller's market, particularly when it relates to high grade, high end, mid to high end, graded, slabbed, modern, even vintage stuff. If you're a collector out there, honestly, I'd hit the pause button. Only look for specific deals, specific cards that you really, really want, cards that maybe don't come up for sale very often. So if they do come up for sale during this time period, you're kind of moving on them. But I would wait until after that kind of 3 show period. And as we move into September and October, things will maybe quiet down a little bit. And that's when maybe you can get some of your deals. Maybe the repack starts to die down. I don't know. But I just think right now we're in a seller's market. I would be hitting the sell button. That is why I'm on eBay actively selling. I'm on other sites actively selling. And I'm only buying very specific things. Typically Michael Jordan lots that are done by the non-quote prime time or elite sellers on eBay. So occasionally you get these things shipped to you and they're like in a plastic bag, you know what I mean? But whatever, it doesn't matter. Today I got a huge lot and they were all sleeved. And I mean, some of the top loaders are kind of yellow, but that just is the market, Michael Jordan market. These things have been sitting in top loaders for 20, 25 years. And so that's the game I'm playing in. And it's been going pretty good. I've been having fun and we'll see where it progresses. And for me, you're always, we've been doing this for 25 years. At times we've sold unopened wax. At times I've been heavy on supplies. At other times I've completely been out of the card market and sold board games and other things. Right now, the Michael Jordan market is one that I think you can take advantage of. I also think there's some arbitrage opportunities. So there it is.
I'm loving it.
Super chats are coming in.
The Dirty Bird 63 says, I'm so done. I want to smoke a doobie with the Mantle rookie.
Wow.
And he just dropped a 100 ball. He says, okay, geez.
Jeez,
so our
baby.
boy over here, Dirty Bird.
He's feeling good.
Hopefully he's feeling good. Hopefully he's got some
$200 so far.
Hopefully he's got some illegal narcotics or some women over there. So
hey, you're invited to the Pendry. He's invited to the Pendry.
He is invited to the Pendry August 16th through the 18th, 2024 in New York City.
I booked my flight today, so I got my flight set. I'm flying out of Monterey, so I might try to play. I don't think I'm going to be able to play Pebble, but I'm going to try to get her because I fly out at like 7 p.m. So it's like, you want to get to Monterey a little early. Maybe get a little 18-hole round at Poppy or one of these courses, and there we go.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Okay. You over here just balling, flexing.
I'm trying.
I'm loving it.
I still got my job, so I'm still doing okay.
You're still gainfully employed. So that's good to hear.
Now.
It looks like for now. It looks like our boy Dirty Bird 63. He's probably gainfully employed as well.
He's got to be.
So we loving that.
His comment was because he donated and said, "I want to smoke a doobie," and I said, "Smoke a doobie with me instead."
Let's do it.
There we go.
Let's do it. And our boy Paul Carl was just joking about all this. He wasn't calling us out. He was
No,
if
yeah.
anything, giving us a tip of the cap to our boy. So thank you, Paul, for the comments, and we appreciate you watching. And so yeah, you've inspired me. Burbank Sports Cards has inspired me. So I've got the Rico, what is it called? FI 8170
Yeah.
coming in tomorrow. So we'll be
Nice.
blasting through some cards, and then we'll see what I'm able to sell and how much I'm able to list, and maybe I'll be able to give some tips and tricks there and what I'm able to buy as well. But I do want to start with, at least I want to play this backyard clip, and I have sound, so don't worry. I'm going to play it with sound. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for the backyard? Okay, let me click back, put our girl on here, but let me play this backyard clip.
By the way,
Say that again.
Dirty Bird with another hundo.
Yeah, exactly. Like we all just need a PPP loan. File for that PPP loan. I'm gonna put
amazing.
Dirty Bird's name and address on it, and I bet that bam, it gets approved ASAP. And then once we get that, what is it, $2.3 million? It's gonna be raining like a strip club in Vegas, baby. It's just gonna be money, just gonna be sprinkling.
We're gonna
everywhere.
make Jeff Wilson's 2.3 spending look like child's play if we get 2.3. I mean, you're gonna know if we get 2.3, you're gonna know about it real quick.
You're gonna know about it real quick. We're gonna be spending that real quick.
Thank you.
But
Dirty
speaking of hobby darlings, Backyard Breaks back in the news. They posted this clip to YouTube that I'm about to show you. And look, I'll play it and then we'll talk about it.
To see a gold Giannis auto. That's my guess. I'm gonna see a gold Giannis auto. That's my guess.
A few minutes later.
Demmer, here comes your gold Giannis. Here it comes. Here it comes, right here, right now, boys. It ain't no rook, son. If it actually is.
Nah, bro, yo, no way.
Bro, that's
that is
weird.
crazy,
Nah,
dude.
that's weird.
That could have been the craziest one of all time.
I called that 10 minutes ago, dog.
So that was actually fairly impressive what he actually just did. He said he was going to pull a gold Giannis, don't call him Giannis Antetokounmpo autograph rookie gold to 10. And then he did. So just the fact that he did that was kind of remarkable. Remarkable that it's also Backyard Breaks the one doing that. Oftentimes the hobby positivity crowd, and we know who's in that crowd. Oftentimes the hobby positivity crowd, they will say that all this talk about loaded boxes is just tinfoil hat stuff. It's a little hard to call it tinfoil hat when the guy, especially Backyard Breaks, is calling the card that he's going to pull out. So what do you think about Mr. Backyard calling his shot, aka like Babe Ruth?
Surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look, I don't watch his streams enough. I mean, maybe he's like, you know, he's like that buddy that's going to the bar and he's like, I'm gonna bring home this girl tonight. I'm gonna bring home this girl tonight. And then finally, after 3 months, he finally brings a girl home. I don't know. Dirty Bird saying the whole world is rigged. Another Hundy. Thank you very much. This has been a very profitable stream so far, Ryan. No matter what happens tonight with the Luka Doncic. I mean, if they win, God, I'm gonna get destroyed. But it'll all be fun and games since Dirty Bird has given us enough to buy some bags of nugs and be able to smoke our problems away for the next week as we watch Luka finally fulfill his destiny. Look, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I think at this point we ask some questions like, is this rigged by Panini or is this a pack that has been resealed? Like, to me, it's like, is this being rigged? If it's rigged, okay, is it being rigged at the Panini factory and they're sending the boxes here, or is this rigged by Backyard Breaks, where this is funneling to a guy? Maybe it's a guy they know, maybe it's a good customer, maybe it's somebody, maybe it's on the inside. I have no idea. There's a lot of different ways you can think about it. Those packs certainly don't look like they've been tampered with, but these guys, I mean, when you spend your day fondling pictures of men all day and fondling pictures of packs with pictures of men in it, I'm sure there's a lot of different ways you can manipulate these things so they can seem as real as possible. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It all seems a little too convenient to me, but maybe all these things are on the up and up. And certainly if you were the guy that was in this break and you pulled this card, you'd be pretty excited about it. And I tell you what, if it is rigged, you're probably going to be wanting to break with these guys.
Dirty Bird 63 back with another $100. We're gonna have to make it rain in Vegas or Hermosa Beach or something here pretty soon. He is saying, trust me, if you buy it, it's rigged. It's gambling. It's definitely gambling. There's no question about that when you buy into these breaks, when you buy into really any pack, even retail packs. It is gambling. I think what has the hobby concerned, and certainly people who probably spend money on this stuff, is it rigged? Are good cards being funneled to the best breakers or to influencers? We've obviously we could point to a number of different examples. This is kind of a unique one. This isn't a Giannis, don't call him Giannis Antetokounmpo gold autograph card is worth quite a bit of money, but we're not talking about tens of thousands of dollars. It's not a rookie card. But it is interesting that he calls his shot. And I guess everybody who's not in the hobby positivity crowd is just supposed to sit back and take this. And just accept this as, at face value, that he got lucky calling the exact card that he was going to pull. And it's same thing with the Blez guys. What was it a few weeks ago? Pulling 4 or 5 black finite 1-of-1s. Everybody just said, oh, they open a lot of product or they bought the rest of the inventory. That's what people kept leaving me comments. And it's like, guys, I can Google the product they open and I can find plenty of boxes online for sale. So they didn't buy the entire stock. Maybe they bought the entire stock from a distributor, but they certainly didn't buy the entire stock. So I don't know what to make of this. These are things you can't talk about. Certainly if we were trying to get Fanatics allocation, we can't talk about this stuff. The collectibles guru deleted a tweet about this week because maybe he heard from his daddy, Michael Rubin, or somebody, his daddy at Fanatics, and said, hey, you need to take that stuff down. Maybe his daddy at Panini. So you can't talk about this stuff. You have to accept everything at face value. And look, with Backyard Breaks, we can go through a number of different things that they've been accused and or guilty of, whether it's the Trevor Lawrence thing, whether it's the $500,000 rigged repack break, or whether it's an employee taking kickbacks. I mean, we could have a documentary on the career of Backyard Breaks. So this is just probably another interesting chapter. Like you said, maybe we'll have to watch his stream. Maybe he calls his shot every stream, and he's just calling out cards and they never hit. And like you said, he just got lucky this one time. I'm sure Card Collector 2 and Jeff Wilson will be out with a video explaining how this happened this week, and that we all can calm down. We all can head on over to Cards HQ. What do you think a select box costs these days? Probably a few $100s. So you all can calm down and go buy this particular product. Any more thoughts on the Backyard doing it again?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm actually surprised to see them actually breaking a licensed product here. I know that they're up in the nebulas, but maybe this is a product of their number one buyer. I can't remember the guy's name. We talked about him last week, but it looks like he's gone, or he was buying 80% of the repack. So maybe they have to go back to some of this license stuff. But I do think it is kind of interesting. Yeah, somebody sent me the tweet. I guess it was like the Collectible Guru or one of those guys. And it's like, yeah, they had to delete it. And so that to me, that's just like, come on. We're all big boys here. Well, most people are big boys in their hobby. There's a lot of these little teenagers that are still, Card Collector 2 is their idol. They're still sucking on mommy's titty. They still get their bills paid by mommy and daddy. And so there's people that look at these guys like they're their idols, but most of the hobby kind of looks at this and does question what's going on and does question what could be happening here. And I think that's for us to do. And I don't exactly know what's going on, but I wouldn't trust a lot of these guys. I don't think a lot of just from afar, I don't view any of these guys as like guys I would trust. And maybe that's just, maybe I'm getting old, but I don't trust a lot of these guys at Backyard Breaks. I wouldn't trust them watching my house. I wouldn't trust them with my watch. I wouldn't trust them with my trading cards. I just wouldn't. And maybe over time, and that doesn't really mean a whole lot. But there are people in this hobby that I would trust, and there are people that I think are trustworthy. I don't think these guys are it. But we'll see. They've got 80 employees, and they've certainly built a quality business here. And we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, pretty interesting. So I'm sure it's not the last time we'll be talking about the backyard. But should I be bidding on any cards? We got an hour left. This OJ Simpson's got 7 days left. So if you're trying to get OJ Simpson's driver's license, you have 7 days to
family selling this, or is this?
There's been a lot.
This stuff got seized from him. Maybe
there's been a lot of OJ stuff since he died. So I don't know if it's like a function of that. Like, are people just selling out because they think this is a good time to do that? Or like you said, is this, a strategic, well, there's not actually that many listings for OJ Simpson. But it's weird that like some of his personal items, his Visa debit card, his driver's license. So I don't know if that was like a storage locker find or what that was all about. Now, I mean, this is always an interesting photo. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Oh, man. What a time to be alive.
Classic moment in American history right there. Boy, if we could go back to 1995, just sign me up for that.
Man.
So I won't be bidding on Mr. Simpson's merchandise, but maybe some other people will. Hey, everybody's least favorite grading company, Beckett. I get excited when I see these old cards in BVG holders. First of all, because the guy who did the grading for Beckett now works at CSG and is actually somewhat respected in the vintage grading world and can tell a fake card from a real card most of the times. So the fact that these are in BVG holders, I feel like you're almost getting like a discount. What they're worth, I don't know. I think these bottom ones might be $100 each, and these top ones might be in the ballpark. So at 458 might be some room there. I have no idea what these are worth, but I get excited when I see old baseball cards.
So I love buying Michael Jordan cards because it's like what they're worth. Like if you've been buying his cards for a long time, it is so easy. It's just so easy. And that's what's nice about buying the same stuff or the same guy or the same era of card over and over and over again, is you just know what it's worth. With this modern stuff, it's like I have to look it up because I'm like, I don't know what people are paying for these guys that have no rings. They've never won anything. If they do ever win anything, it'll be one and done, and they'll be gone. So I don't, but with Jordan, it's you could show me. I mean, oftentimes I'm looking at card lots with like 70 or 80 of them, and in 2 minutes, less than a minute, you can make a judgment on how much you should pay. A lot of the stuff's worth $1, some stuff's worth $3. Occasionally there's cards in there worth 10, 20, 30, and there's your profit.
Sounds like a great business. And you don't have to compete with those repackers on those cheaper cards.
Yeah, I don't want to compete with them. I mean, do any of them drive a nice car? Have a nice watch?
I don't know. Maybe they're driving Lambos and Ferraris. We're seeing
they?
the guys with the Lambos and
Okay.
Ferraris. So I think there's real money floating around this industry. We can get into, if it's something that's going to hold up over the course of the next 6 months, a year, 2 years. I like to look a little further out than maybe a lot of people. A lot of people, like you said, are only looking to July, August, and September for these big card shows to liquidate.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing that too. I mean, I plan on probably liquidating a whole bunch of stuff at the Burbank Card Show, because pretty much anything you have in the table, you're probably going to be able to sell it.
I mean, I hope that's the case, because I'm dropping. I mean, the trip to NYC is probably a 5-figure trip. So
Right.
it'd be nice to turn around the next weekend and get 5 figures
sell some
back.
cards.
And then I'm gonna go roll up to the Rolex store and turn it into something.
That's very impressive. So, yeah, that's the plan for us. So we'll be acquiring some inventory. But like I said, I also bought the scanner. So getting ready to scan some cheap cards and see how that goes. But I wanted to get into these card prices.
Yeah.
Year-to-date change on these indexes. And look, we'll take a look at market movers too. In the year-to-date on these market mover indexes, he has 2 of them. And we could debate if these card prices are accurate or not. I think when you're kind of adding up 500 cards and averaging their prices, I think that's a little safer than sometimes looking at like individual card prices. The Sports Card Investor 500s, the old one and the new one, where I guess he took out all the Kobe White cards, really haven't budged since the start of the year. Basically unchanged or up very slightly. If you look at the card ladder indexes, year-to-date percentage change, you've had nothing that's moved of any significance. Football 1.97, 1%, up 1%. I doubt that pays for any fees when you go to sell these cards. Card ladder 50 up 2%. Everything else is down. From baseball to basketball.
My Federer autos are nice.
Tennis has popped a little bit, supposedly. This is probably on low volume, and sometimes these things go up on low volume. But tennis is supposedly up 28%. There's not a WNBA index. I would be curious to see that and how the WNBA index has fared. And some of those cards, because that seems to be the one sport that's popping. But I think, is it time for the sports card industry to get a little concerned about the baseball card market? We looked at these 4 players. It must have been only a few weeks ago. And these numbers have not gotten any better. Corbin Carroll still hitting 193. Remember when everybody told us how good Corbin Carroll was? Remember when Card Collector 2 pulled a Corbin Carroll card and he said it was the best fucking card he's ever pulled? How about our boy Julio Rodriguez, who has actually hit a couple home runs in the last week, but he's still batting .268, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs, about a third of the way through the season. He was supposed to be as good as Mickey Mantle, if you remember that. How about Ronald Acuna? Last year's MVP in the National League. 250, 4 home runs, 15 RBI. So he was kind of, I guess we could call that struggling, especially for an MVP. But he is out for the season. I don't know if you saw that, with an ACL injury. This is about the second or third time he's now going to miss the entire year. So now you can add a year. You know, these guys come along, they're 22 years old, and you automatically put 600 home runs on them. You automatically put rings on their finger. And then when they miss 2 or 3 seasons for injury, I don't know how old is Ronald Acuna. I don't know if this is his real
I don't
age.
know.
He comes from one of these, countries where.
He's 26.
So by the next time he plays baseball, he's going to be 27 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, that's getting up there in age. And he only has 165 home runs. So when you put 600 home runs on the guy, and now he's 27 years old.
I mean, look at
And he
just
has
Trout cards. I mean, how many home runs does Trout have? And his cards can't catch a bit. Mainly because
here's another guy who gets hurt.
He gets hurt all
Here's
the time.
another guy who gets hurt all the time. He
But
has
he's had a great career.
378 home runs.
An amazing career. I mean, that's a great career, but it's about average for baseball standards. Honestly.
So Acuna is about 100 home runs behind him. He's also about 5 years. Excuse me. He's 200 home runs behind Mike Trout. He's 5 years younger. So Acuna is going to have to hit 40 home runs per year for the next 5 years to even equal Mike Trout's home run output. That shows you that when you have an injury, it basically tanks your career. And that's why these cards are not investments, because just one tweak of the ankle, one tweak of the Achilles, one tweak of the knee, and the entire Ronald Acuna index is done. This guy's not an investable asset anymore. He's not even worth buying his cards unless you're an Atlanta Braves fans. They're down 61% in the last 2 years, and he won an MVP last year. If you zoom out all time, people will say, oh, it's still up 400%. Guys, in 2017, he had no cards. What did he have? His Bowman Chrome? So as the supply of cards came along, the hype rose, drove up the prices. Now the hype is going to be gone. He's just going to be another 27-year-old guy coming off another injury. Look at the sales volume is actually at its highest as these cards have trended down. In the last year, these are only down 16%. Expect this to tank.
And I mean,
His
that's
cards
down again. That's down 16%. That's compared to money doing nothing. If people are looking at a Ronald Acuna as an investment, you have to compare it to another investment. So you could compare it to another baseball player. You could compare it to the index of baseball cards. You could also compare it to other things that you could have done with your money from an investment standpoint. How has real estate done over the last year? How has crypto done over the last year? How has S&P 500 done over the past year? How has fucking NVIDIA stock done over the past year? How has super microcomputer stock done? How has Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta? How have these other, quote, investments done over the past year? So, yeah, it's down 16%, but that's compared to money you would have just put under your mattress. If you compare it to NVIDIA, or you compare it to Bitcoin, or you compare it to just the fucking S&P 500, now we're talking about a spread even wider than 16%. We're talking about a spread that could be hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, depending on how much money you put into Ronald Acuna. And I think with this modern stuff, I think it goes without saying, and I think the audience that we have has the IQ higher than most of the guys, 80 employees that work at Backyard Breaks combined. You got to be in and out of this stuff so fast. And there's people, oh, Luka. There ain't nobody that's made money on Luka, guys. Find me a guy that has made some money on Luka. None of you guys have made nothing on him. And the same is true with Ronald Acuna. You might have made some money on Ronald Acuna, but then you dumped it into Wander Franco, or you dumped it into Corbin Carroll, or you dumped it into Julio Rodriguez, or you dumped it into Jackson Holiday. You didn't take your profits and go buy some real estate, go buy some crypto, go buy some NVIDIA stock, go buy some gold, which is at all-time highs. No, you didn't do any of that. You didn't do any of that. So stop with this investing stuff. Stop it when a player gets hot and a player does something, you get all excited. They haven't done nothing. These guys have done nothing in their career. Guys that have done something, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays. These guys have actually done something in their life. The rest of these guys might end up being Mike Trout at best. Mike Trout at best. And what has Mike Trout cards done over the past couple of years? They've done nothing but go down. Oh my God,
They're
Mike
down
Trout cards down
43%
43% in a year.
in the last year. 65
2
in the
years,
last two.
65%. Mike Trout cards. This is who Ronald Acuna, Corbin Carroll, Jackson Holiday. This is like a great case scenario. Like they'd be, I mean, we're talking about a 1 in probably 1,000 shot of them having a career like Mike Trout. Mike Trout's a great player. I don't want anybody to get any wrong impression. Mike Trout's a great player. Okay. His cards are down over the past 2 years, 65%. Meanwhile, what has NVIDIA stock done? Crypto, S&P 500, Costco, pretty much any stock that's not some dog shit piece of garbage stock. What has it done? Other investments, art, coins, gold coins, silver coins. Silver's at fucking like a 10-year high. You could have done anything with your money. You could have put it under the mattress and made money. And these cards are going down as the purchasing power of your money is going down as well. So it's like a double whammy. It's terrible. The performance of these cards are terrible. And everybody was buying on the way up. The 5 years lows. And this guy's had a great career.
I think any of these new players that are coming along, you have to look at the stats of Mike Trout, who's had some great MVP years, and then he's had some years where he's gotten hurt, like this year. And is he going to have numbers as good or similar to Mike Trout? And Ronald Acuna was supposed to be the next Trout, next Mickey Mantle, next Willie Mays. You name the superlative. And just to equal Mike Trout, he's going to have to hit at least, he's going to have to hit over 40 home runs for the next 5 years.
Damn.
Just to equal
surgically repaired knees.
On 2 surgically repaired knees. Just to equal Mike Trout. So I don't think this gets, go ahead.
Hey, and this is in a market where we have the repackers buying this stuff. Not necessarily Trout, maybe a little less Acuna, but the repackers are in here buying. You can show up at a card show, Ryan, and offload your table for 80 off all day long.
Yeah, all day
long.
Any show.
You could show up at the smallest show and you might get offered 10 off your table.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that was like fantasy land. I mean, we were doing it back when all these influencers were telling you to buy. We were running to these shows trying to sell as fast as you can. You look at some of our early content, or like when we kind of came back here to YouTube. Oh, we showed up at a show. We sold all our shit. I took all my boxes and I went to Mojo Break. Not Mojo Sports. I went to Mojo Break and unloaded all my boxes like at the top. Like I couldn't run out and sell cards fast enough when they were hot. When everybody was telling you guys to buy these cards, we couldn't run out fast enough to sell them. And now you've got these repackers in here supporting the market. It's almost like the stock market where you've got Apple buying back their shares, $100 billion over the next 2 years. It's like, well, yeah, fuck. How can the stock fucking go down when Apple is just taking money out of its own pocket and buying back its own shares? The same thing is happening in the card market, but it's not Apple Computer buying the cards. It's 80 employees at fucking Backyard Dumb Fuck Breaks. It's these guys. That are propping up, again, not propping up. They're just keeping air in the modern market. These cards are down 60%. Imagine if Grant Telford wasn't buying these cards, how much they would be down. These things would be down like 90%. Back down to prices that we're used to, that we're accustomed to. So, I mean, the market is getting propped up, and I think it's going to stay propped up for the next, 2-3 months as we head into the summertime. You head into these big shows. You're certainly not going to want to show up at these shows where you're paying $1,000 for a table or whatever it costs and have an empty booth. You just can't do that. So you're going to show up with a bunch of inventory. Some of this stuff is getting put off to the side, getting priced, waiting for these shows to occur, because you got to plan for these things, obviously weeks, maybe even months in advance, especially if you got employees and things like that. Just wait until the after baseball season, and as we move into football season, I mean, there's going to be a major dump in this market, even more so than what we've seen over the past year or two.
I mean, it's not just those 4 players. I mean, I could probably list a 20 guys that I heard over the last couple of years were supposed to do something. I mean, Anthony Volpe, the hype around him was astronomical. I mean, he was supposed to be better than Jeter, apparently. Look, his numbers aren't horrible. 288, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs, a third of the way through the season. Not horrible at all. But it probably doesn't justify his card prices. Jordan Walker, remember him last year? I don't know if you remember, but during spring training in the preseason, the Jordan Walker hype was astronomical. I mean, you don't want to see what some of his cards were selling for. He's in AAA. He's not even in the big leagues.
Oh.
And then if we want to go back to Tatis, I didn't put Tatis on here because he did the juice and kind of wrote himself off as an investment. I put Vlad Jr. on here, again, not having a horrible season whatsoever. 294, 5 home runs, 25 RBIs. Yeah.
No one cares.
On pace. Nobody cares. And of course, Wander Franco. I didn't get the numbers from the prison league, but that's the only league he's been playing in lately. Again, these are 8 guys. And if you throw in Tatis, that's 9. If you throw in Trout, that's 10. Big money has been spent on these players. And they have not performed up to par. And for them to even get to be as good as Mike Trout, some of them, like Ronald Acuna, will have to hit 40 plus home runs in the next 5 seasons coming off an ACL injury. So you get old quick. You get old quick. I think, first of all, 26 years old is not old by any stretch of the imagination. But in the baseball card world, 26, 27 years old, you're starting to get up there. And if you already had injury history, to me, his cards will never, ever, ever recover. I mean, maybe if he wins the Triple Crown and they win the World Series, maybe. But I don't think his cards ever recover. Anybody who has Acuna cards, I would sell them because I think they're headed way lower. And they, at some point, this chart could actually turn negative. Because as cheap as his cards were in 2017, I think when this guy retires, I don't think anybody will care. And he will be a footnote in Major League Baseball. And look, he's a great player. Well, most of these guys will be, just small footnotes in Major League Baseball. But the marketing of Fanatics, the marketing of these breakers, it's all to push that, hey, these are the next big things. These guys are the next big thing. There's actually very few people in this industry who are trying to tamp things down. That's why I wouldn't be ashamed of anything that's happening over here in the basketball game. That for when Luka Doncic prices were going out of control, there was literally probably only me and you telling people, hey,
this
in 2021, we were like, guys, this is crazy. He's a white basketball player. He's not going to win 6 rings. Nobody fucking cares. And regardless if he wins a title or not, nobody cares. And his cards will not return to 2021 or 2022 highs. Even if he averages 40 points in the NBA Finals, nobody cares. His cards are down 56% in the last 2 years. In the last month, they're up a whopping 4%. He might fulfill his destiny and finally get his first ring, and his cards are up 4%. And we don't even want to know what they're off on the highs. They're off tons of percentages off the highs.
I just like making money. A lot of people want to be like, oh, well, you said this about Luka. You said this. He did this. He did that. I don't care. I just want to make money, guys. At the end of the day, I got to pay tuition. I got to put food on the table. I got to charge the Tesla. I can't stop at 2 Rolexes and an AP. I got to get a third one. I can't stop, guys. A lot of you guys just want to sit around and watch these guys play and know how to pronounce their name and know what their stats like it's fucking your girlfriend's chest size. I just want to make money. That's all I care about. I don't want to make friends in the industry. I don't want people ass slapping me, coming up and giving me hugs at the Fanatics Fest. I just want to make money, guys. So when I go to the Fanatics Fest next year, I'm flying first class again and I'm staying at the Pendry. That's all I care about, guys. And if you care about anything else, you're not a sports card investor. And you're probably one of these guys that are watching Jeff Wilson, Card Collector 2, Mojo Sports, all these guys where they're traveling around, they're getting sponsored, they're showing you all this unrealistic shit, they're staging content. What's the other guy's name? Curator.
The great one.
Is he even still around? I don't even know. Is he still around?
Oh, yeah, still around.
He's still around.
I think
Okay.
the great one, the gatekeeper, is still around. Absolutely.
I mean, as we're doing the show, I've sold $6.99 Michael Jordan card. I guarantee you I paid like $1 for that. I know I paid $1 for that and sold it for $1.99 plus shipping. I mean, this is as easy as it gets, guys. Kobe, Jordan. I mean, this is all I sell. Kobe, Jordan, Kobe, Jordan. We ain't sitting here arguing about the greatness of Kobe and Jordan at this point. They're really not making any more of their cards either. That's the other trick. Because Ryan, Ronald Acuna could come back, hit 40 home runs, 50 fucking home runs over the next 5 years. How many cards are they going to make of Ronald Acuna over the next 5 years?
5 million.
How many? 5 fucking million cards. How many cards of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan are they going to make over the next 5 years? Not many. Not many good ones.
Have we gotten any? We haven't gotten any cards of Kobe, right?
No.
Michael's the Upper Deck still releases those good wins and some of the EPAC stuff with Michael in it, but it's unlicensed.
But it's garbage. It's garbage.
It's trash.
They're still. I bought a bunch of them the other day. I'm buying them because you can resell them. People buy them, but it's not this. And God only knows that we ain't getting anything good with Kobe. Certainly not his signature. And I mean, there's a golden auction, I think, ending in a couple of weeks or whenever that has one of his jersey that's going to sell for like an obscene amount of money. So the price of his Game U stuff just goes up and up and up and up. And I don't know, and bless his family and his wife. I don't know her willingness to put him in basketball trading card products going forward. I don't know. Clearly, that's not high on her list, mainly because she probably has enough. We know this. She has enough money already. This guy invested in a drink company that 500x'd right before he died or right after he died, let alone all his NBA money and all the other shit that he had. So, I mean, again, Acuna could be great. Carroll could be great. Luka Doncic could be fucking great. How many fucking cards are they going to make of these guys over the next couple of years? Millions
And
each.
Even if they're great, doesn't mean shit. I mean, we're seeing it with Luka right now. His team is playing great. I don't know if he's particularly playing great, but his team is, and his cards are up 4% in the last month.
Wow.
Actually, they're down they're down in the last 6 months.
I mean, it's incredible. It just showed you this is a lesson to people that stuff gets priced in. Just because Luka might manifest exactly what everybody had in mind for him, being a great player, being a generational talent, but it was already priced in. And that's been our argument with this guy for 4 years, that he might end up being a great basketball player. He might win an MVP award, which I don't think he's ever won an MVP award. He's never won a big game. And tonight is not a big game. There's going to be Mavericks fans that are going to be all excited tonight. Tonight is not a big game. Nobody remembers who wins the Western Conference Finals. Nobody remembers that.
Who was in
Who
the
won the
finals last
Western?
year? Who was in the
The
finals
Nuggets.
last year?
The Nuggets
And
the
and
Heat.
who?
I think it was the Heat.
Does anybody care about the Heat?
No, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
It's got
You
a
have
long way
to
to go.
win.
It looks like.
And even if you win, it's already priced in. And again, nobody was telling anybody of this 3 or 4 years ago. And nobody's really talking about it now with Corbin Carroll, with Jackson Holiday. I mean, how much was Jackson Holiday's career already priced into his cards? It was insane.
Oh, they have the luxury of just being able to move on to the next guy, and I'm sure he's out there already. You know, everybody just moves on to somebody else, and hey, this is the next guy. This is the next guy. This is the next guy. Meanwhile, Mike Trout, who was the guy for the better part of a decade, has 378 career home runs at age 32 and is once again hurt. This is who I would look to. What will your hobby heroes have to do to get to Mike Trout's level? Acuna's got to hit 40 home runs in the next 5 years to equal his home run output. Nobody cares about how many stolen bases he has.
Oh, well, 2 knees
Nobody
that are
cares.
redone. He ain't stealing bases
Yeah,
anymore.
he probably shouldn't be stealing any bases. So at least, I mean, the basketball card market doesn't move even when these guys make it to the finals. You've got to be somebody like Anthony Edwards, who goes from well-known to near superstardom for your cards to even budge.
Right.
With football,
But
ahead.
if you had Anthony Edwards, you had 4 or 5 other guys that went down. You know what I mean? There's nobody like 100%. And this is the case. You know, nobody was just 100% in NVIDIA stock. But in cards, the vast majority of the shit just goes down.
Look at the alt. If you were in on Anthony Edwards from the start, and you right when his cards came out, you're like, this is the guy. Up 11% all time.
And
Does that
I mean,
move the
that's not
needle for
accounting
you?
inflation. I mean, forget the economics 101 talk, but you're actually down. Thank you, Joe Biden. You're actually down.
So it really depends when you bought Anthony Edwards to determine if you are up and down. Now, if you bought in the last year, you're probably up about 50%. If you bought in the last 2 years, anything before October 2022, you're actually down on Anthony Edwards. Because once again, the 6 championships were already baked in.
It's brutal.
And the hype surrounding these guys very, very, very rarely lives up to the hype. Very rarely do these guys live up to the hype. Hey, maybe they're pretty good or they're good players. Ronald Acuna is a good player. He won MVP. He's had a couple good seasons, but now he's injury prone and getting older. Not to mention the risk that your player like Wander Franco will be playing in the prison league because he went off the reservation and started dating a 14-year-old girl. I mean, are those those are never priced into these card ladder charts.
It's brutal.
So to me, it's amazing how high some of these card prices sell for. It's amazing just the blind belief. Like, we're going to get comments on this video about, oh, Ronald Acuna is going to come back and do the X, Y, and Z. And Julio Rodriguez doesn't suck.
Maybe
and
he
Corbin Carroll's this. And, oh, Wander Franco's going to come back here pretty soon. You can always find a sucker.
Guy,
in the
that won't be
baseball
just
card
our
world.
comments. That'll be the tone of the hobby over the next year. They have to, and we'll talk about it here probably in a moment. They're grading your hobby shop based on your social media feed. You certainly are not going to get graded very high if you're like Well, you know, guys, how we told you about Jackson Holiday, and we told you about Wander Franco. We told you about Julio Rodriguez. We told you about Wander Franco. We told you about Anthony Volpe. We told you about Vlad Jr. Oh, we've even told you about some guys that have actually done well over the last year, and all their cards are down. I mean, you're not going to get high scores from Fanatics by bringing that message to the masses. You're just not going to do it. And it is a big problem in this hobby. If the hobby started being a little bit more realistic about what these cards are worth, because there's a lot of people that get into this hobby. Again, their gateway drug is the Jeff Wilsons, is like, I went to a card show and I spent $15,000. I'm going to make all this money. I bought a third tier running back from the Atlanta Falcons who are never going to be in a running situation in a game. But I bought his BGS 8 1 of 1, even though they're going to be down 40 every game and be throwing every down. For some reason, their running back's going to be doing good. Your gateway is these guys. These are your gateway into the hobby positivity crowd. Or it's a breaker who has stacks and stacks of products they got to break, because if they don't break through that, the next week, a whole nother pallet is showing up and they got to break through that. Or you got 80 employees, 80 bros working for you. And so you got to keep up the hype train. Even when you look at the data, you look at the reality of the situation, this stuff is on shaky ground. And then when you compare it to other quote unquote investments, this is like one of the worst. This is like NFT type performance. This is like NFT. People joke about NFTs. The sports card business is borderline like an NFT. I mean, I got stocks that are trash that have gone up more than this stuff, let alone fucking Google. This is a disaster. And I think we're headed for even lower prices than what we're seeing now. And nobody's going to be saying this because everybody's got cards to sell. There are opportunities to make money. I've sold about $12 of Michael Jordan cards in the last hour since we've joined you here on the program. So there are opportunities to make money.
Who are you selling those cards to? You're not.
Oh my God!
You're not selling to the Jordan Walker and the Vlad
No.
Jr. and the
No. These are people that are buying these cards and collecting them and putting them in their collection, because these are cards that don't go up in value. But I'm playing more or less an arbitrage spread game where you're buying it in a lot. You're buying up people that don't value the cards maybe as much as the end collector does. You buy them for $1, you sell them for $2. Buy them for $1, sell them for $5. Buy them for $2, sell them for $6. That's what you do. That's the game. Because I mean, you buy this modern stuff. Who in this group, Ryan, has actually made money buying this modern stuff? I mean, again, the sports card investor calls himself the sports card investor. What good sports card investments has he made? What cards has he bought that have actually gone up?
I think this is a good example. Card Collector 2 has a store where he buys and flips cards. He is not playing like the investment game. Sure, he probably buys cards of Corbin Carroll and these players, but he's probably trying to get in and out of these cards very quickly. Jeff Wilson has probably made some money on his content, but like you said, he had to pivot from investing to opening a card store, much similar to Card Collector 2. This guy, Aaron Nowak of Slab Stocks, I think he has a website and he does breaks. I doubt he's over here dabbling and investing and buying these cards. Stephanie Garcia, another person who does group breaks, probably doesn't individually invest in a lot of players, a lot of cards. Tim McHenry, don't know a lot about him, wears a goofy hat, but I think he has a product that quote unquote protects your slabs. None of these guys can probably prove and or show that they've made money in this market because it's very difficult. Not something they're probably willing to admit, probably not something they'd willing to admit to their audience. and they have to go to other strategies to make money in the sports card world. Most notably, Jeff Wilson, who called himself the sports card investor. These other people, I don't think they've called themselves investors. They've just looked for business opportunities. But we remember when Card Collector 2 slapped his face when he pulled the Corbin Carroll 1 of 1. He said, "This is the best card I ever pulled." Does he still think that? How many times has he influenced people to buy a Corbin Carroll, buy a new product that feature these players? They're pushing you into products. They're pushing you into cards that are no better than a gamble.
I mean, I'd rather be gambling. You know what I mean? Like, I'd
At least you
rather
might
be
win.
gambling. At least you might win. You might have a good time. You run enough coin through. I just got offered a round at Edgewood Tahoe, not because of my coin in, but a buddy has enough coin in at Caesars that we're going to go to Edgewood and Tahoe. And that's like a $300 a round golf. So I'd rather do that. Now, yeah, maybe you get some kickbacks from Fanatics. Maybe you get some kickbacks. Maybe we'll see on the Fanatics Fest, Ryan. We're on the outside looking in. We're at the Pendry Suite, and we're looking over at the Javits Center and saying, man, look at all those little dick suckers getting all the exclusive cards and all the ass slapping. While we're over here at a 5-star hotel, really, really struggling. Maybe, and that may be the case. That may be the case. But at the end of the day, do any of them actually make money doing what they told you they were going to do? They were going to invest in cards, invest in this new asset class. Has anybody actually made any money doing that?
They make money pushing it on to other people.
Sure.
That's how they've made their money. And that's how a majority of the people in this industry probably make their money. They push new product onto you, and they sell the hope and the dream that you're going to pull something either out of a blaster, either out of a repack product, or either out of an expensive box of cards. It's pretty much all just a hope and a dream. And you have people in the sports world and in the card world willing to put rings on people's fingers well before it even actually happens.
Before they win them.
Luka Doncic was a rookie in 2017? So we're going on 7 years later. He might make the NBA Finals. He might be an underdog to the Celtics in the NBA Finals.
Wow.
But that's what you were sold.
We're blessed. We grew up watching Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. Not everybody as old as old and crusty as us. We've actually seen some good basketball players actually play in the league, actually win something, actually do what the hype said that they were going to do. We actually seen these guys do it. Not after the fact. We saw them actually do it during the fact. And I understand not everybody's that old, and Luka might be the first basketball player you ever liked. And maybe Anthony Edwards falls in that category. Guys, watch a highlight tape of Anthony Edwards and then go watch a highlight tape, even of Kobe Bryant in his, third or fourth year, whatever Anthony Edwards is in. The footwork, the court precision. It's like comparing me to Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll was having a bad season, but if I was in the MLB, I'd be batting 0.
Wander Franco.
Yeah, I my stats might look like Wander Franco. Maybe. Wander Franco might be having a better season than me if I was in the MLB. Okay, Anthony Edwards is a slightly above average basketball player. Slightly above average.
Oh, you're going to get some hate mail for that one.
No, I mean, and that's a compliment coming from me. He's a slightly above average basketball player. And again, those of you that didn't grow up watching Michael Jordan, didn't grow up watching Kobe, go look at the footwork. Go look, like Anthony Edwards shoots a 3 and he drives it to the paint. Show me at working the pivot at the elbow or working the low block. You never see him do it because he doesn't have the skill to do it. He just doesn't have the skill. It takes a while. LeBron James didn't play with his back to the basket until probably year 7 or 8 in the league, and now he plays probably his most effective basketball with his back to the basket.
But these guys weren't warning people of this come 3-4 years ago. I think that's one of the problems with this hobby. And that's why there's such a disconnect in some of these pricing. Because the whole economy is built upon shoving new product and shoving new players down your throat. Nobody except Ken Golden and the consigner of this card is making money off 2001 Upper Deck basketball. Everybody's moved on to 2024 Bowman baseball.
But in 20 years, what's that card worth?
Probably more than $5,000.
Way more. Just based on, I mean, not to get into an economics discussion, but just based on the value, your purchasing power, 4,000 today is going to be like nothing in 25 years. Okay. Card like that could easily be worth 14,000 just based on the purchasing power of the dollar continuing to shrink.
I mean, what does people spend on Ronald Acuna card?
Too much.
Has some of his cards sold for? Here's one that sold for $430,000.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. It's very sad.
Here's another one that sold for $361,000.
These are the cards that make it inside of tweets from like Collectibles Guru. Certainly Jeff Wilson probably will do videos about these types of cards.
He's had multiple 6-figure cards.
That is a problem. That will be a problem.
So this card, he could win the Triple Crown and the World Series, and this card will not be worth $430,000 because nobody will care. He'll be 27 years old and nobody will care. You guys will be on to Jackson Holiday and his little brother. That's just the reality of the situation. You can see what's happening with Luka Doncic right now. On the cusp of fulfilling his destiny, making his first NBA Finals, and his cards have moved 3% in the last 3 months. It's all about the new shiny toy, the new thing. I mean, that's unbelievable. What did people spend on Tatis cards? Here's a $241,000 Tatis card. Remember what people were saying about him? What about our boy Wander Franco?
Oh my God.
What do you think? What do you think some of the numbers on Wander Franco
Oh
are?
my God.
Here's a $193,000 Wander
my
Franco
God.
card that sold less than 3 years ago. About 3 years ago to the day.
Wow. Wow.
His doesn't look like as many devastating losses, but Card Ladder says this card is worth $12,000 today. I'll take the under. I'll take the under.
Painful.
So these things happen, and you're like you said, we're having an industry that's propped up by these repackers willing to buy high-end cards or nice cards at 80% comp, and yet you're still seeing declines in the market.
That's not good. It's not
because
good.
I think what happens is these guys who do spend 190 racks on these cards, they disappear. They lose this money, they disappear, they maybe sell this card privately or throw it in the trash, and then they disappear and they're on to some other thing. They don't come back and fire another $193,000 bullet. That's my guess. It's the guys who buy the Michael Jordan cards and the Kobe stuff who keep coming back for more. Because they've probably actually seen their stuff maybe not appreciate in value, but certainly hold the value. As opposed to some of this volatility from these baseball players and some of these basketball players. I mean, what's Ja Morant doing these days? Right?
Oh, he probably at the gun store trying to buy a Glock.
Isn't this dude supposed to have eight titles by now? I can't believe all time his cards are only down 9%. Last 2 years, though, they're down 71%. Remember who he came in the league with?
Oh,
Zion Williamson.
my buddy.
Isn't he? Isn't it? Wasn't this guy supposed to? All time, his cards are down 84%. That's all time.
Oh, painful. That's why we got to talk about the next guy, Ryan. So we got to talk about the next guy. 'Cause it's so bad.
So it's Wembanyama.
Yeah,
His cards are down 23%. His cards are actually already down 23% all time. Last 6 months, they're about unchanged. Last year, down 43%.
I'd expect that with him to remain unchanged, maybe slightly down heading into next season, as the expectations will be higher.
Well, the expectations will be pretty high. And there's a lot of risk. He could pop an Achilles tendon. He could date the same girl Wander Franco or Josh Giddey was trying to date. He could just flat out suck. He could live up to the expectation and nobody will care because they're off watching Caitlin Clark or whoever. Or because he's in San Antonio.
Didn't we tell the Caitlin Clark story? I think we were at the secret location and we were like, man, this girl's going to have a rough time. They're going to be fouling her. There's going to be a lot of jealous bitches out there on the court. And that's exactly what we're seeing.
I don't think people look at women's basketball and they think it's like a sissy sport or these girls are these girls are competitive as fuck.
Yeah.
And they don't like seeing Caitlin Clark get all the shine or get all the love. They're hella jealous of this girl. So you can imagine when they get on the court with her, boy, they go on full blast. Look here. Here's something from 2 hours ago about Caitlin Clark jawing at somebody else. Yeah, because the women's basketball is competitive as fuck. So yeah, these girls are trying to throw elbows and get over on this girl. And that'll happen for the rest of her career. So pretty interesting. Yeah, I went to a WNBA game the other day, so saw our girl Cameron Brink. So I was excited about that. I'd love to see what her cards are doing, if she even has any. Speaking of somebody who needs some cards and some hype.
That's what the Ukrainian look like.
That's what I'm saying. These guys are over here buying pictures of men, some of whom date 14-year-olds, and yet we got 6'4" smoke show over here.
How brutal
with no card.
Is that? You're buying pictures of men. For the most part, is still viewed as a pretty dorky thing to do, and they go down. They go down 70 or 80%. I mean,
well, not only that, these guys will be in our comments and in our DMs defending these $100 million athletes.
That too,
like fighting to the death for Julio Rodriguez and Ronald Acuna, like literally writing 5 paragraphs. These guys will write a 5-paragraph essay on Julio Rodriguez in our comments, but they never graduated high school. It's astonishing. Brutal. And it's been going on well before Jeff Wilson and Card Collector 2 told you guys to buy cards. This has been going on for years and years and years and years and years. Dating back to the 1980s.
The haters think they're coming with some fresh take, and it's like, guys, we've heard this before.
We've heard it all before. So at least with somebody like Cameron Brink, hey, if her cards go down, at least she's looking kind of cute on them.
I mean, Anna Kournikova's cards still sell. She didn't do shit.
They do.
I've sold a handful of those.
I'd like to get a handful of that. So I don't know what you think about that, but I mean, we get shoved down these baseball players down our throat, and none of these guys are any good. I didn't put Jason Dominguez stats on here because he's hurt and playing in AA, but I guess he's going to come up and be the next big thing. Got to be in and out of these cards quickly. That's what Card Collector 2 has figured out. That's what Jeff Wilson took a few years to actually figure that out. You can't be investing in these cards. They're not investable. Ronald Acuna is not an investment. And at age 27, he's definitely not an investment. Sell all your Acuna cards now. Now. He's done. He's cooked. It's over. But there's still going to be these dorks out there that, oh, he's 27 and he's going to come back. He's going to have to hit over 40 home runs per year for the next 5 years to catch Mike Trout. To just be as good as Mike Trout at age 32. He's hit 40 home runs twice in his career. Everybody in this era had the COVID shorted year either. Nobody ever talks about that. He got screwed for a whole season. So then if you get hurt like you did in 2021 and like you did in 2024, your career's done. He'll be a nice player, but this is not an investable asset. His cards will continue to decline for the rest of his life. Be lucky to be a $30 autograph when he retires. Lucky. If his autograph is worth $30. Maybe with the MVP the inscription, the one that he'll win. He's done. He's cooked, let alone these other guys. So there you go. We told you to sell your Luka Doncic cards 2 years ago. Turns out that would actually been right. We were telling you, sell. Sell your Ronald Acuna cards. Well, look how, you want to know how stupid this hobby is. Remember this a year ago when he got busted? His Chris Hansen moment dating a 14-year-old girl. Again, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I could literally play clips from leading media outlets in this hobby telling you maybe now's the time to buy Wander Franco. What has happened in the last year to his cards? They're down 88%. I'm surprised they're not down 199%.
Right. And we said, hey, you're going to go to card shows and there's going to be dollar boxes with Wander Franco cards that used to sell for hundreds and thousands of dollars. We said that. And here we are. This was an easy one. This doesn't take an IQ above 12 to figure this out. But a lot of people don't have an IQ in this hobby. A lot of these influencers that are doing this stuff, they're just doing it for the views. You know what I mean? They're just posting videos for the views. And it's, people just like to hear positivity. People like to hear the positivity posse talk about what's going up, what they need to buy, what's the next market, what's the next thing that's getting hot, what's the next thing getting pumped. People just like to hear that. They don't want to hear that it's over.
Right, because if you start tamping down any of this hype, that means people aren't opening new product or aren't buying into breaks or aren't buying these overpriced cards of these men.
Yeah.
The whole train has to keep moving.
It has to keep moving. And let's run into that collector story. Or what's that website that's worth 20 million?
Collect. Get it right. Get it right.
Excuse me.
It's Collect.
So Collect had a story. Okay. Well, that's a nice one. Fanatics is grading hobby shops. And you're going to be graded on a 3-point scale. And they're going to give you a score. And I was telling Ryan before we came on, like, it's, you open up a card shop because maybe you worked for a company for a long time, or it's just a dream of yours. You're like Card Collector 2. Mommy and daddy gave you a little bit of money. You open up a card shop. Or you're like Jeff Wilson. You got $3 million in PPP loans and you decide to, you're not a good sports card investor. So now you better just be selling the cards all the time. But you open up a card shop as a small business owner to be your own boss. And now, Ryan, to be a card shop owner in the, whatever we're in, 21st century or whatever, in 2024, now you're going to be graded on a 3-point scale. This is like getting a performance review as an Amazon pick, packer, and shipper. This is like getting your quarterly performance review at big, giant tech corporation ABC. So instead of being in business for yourself, being able to run things how you see fit, being able to run your store how you want to, now you're going to be graded on a 3-point scale. And we already know that a lot of this is going to be graded on the hype that you generate, the hype you generate around your store, the hype you generate on social media. There's some guys that are probably privacy freaks. They don't even want to be on social media. They don't need to be on social media. They're in a town of a few thousand. Everybody knows where he's at. But he's going to get graded now on a 3-point scale. And if his shop ain't clean enough, if he ain't hyping this shit to the moon on social media, and he's not playing the pump and pump game, he ain't going to get no more product. And instead, it's going to go to the people that told you to buy Luka Doncic at the top. It's going to go to the people that told you to buy Wander Franco when he was accused of touching 14-year-old people. It's going to go to the people that were pumping Jackson Holiday. I mean, Jeff Wilson literally said, we're buying Jackson Holiday and we're waiting until he comes up to the majors to sell the cards.
That worked.
And he came up to the majors and he batted 0.95. 0.59. Excuse me. No home runs. These are the guys that are going to get the allocation. These are the guys that are going to be the new, quote, gatekeepers of the new product. Are the guys that have been jamming this new product down your throat for the last 4 or 5 years, when every single card that has come out of there is down. Whether it's Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, Ronald Acuna, Jackson Holiday, Anthony Volpe, Corbin Carroll, Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Vlad Jr., Wander Franco, Tatis. Forget about Kobe White, Tyler Hero, Mac Jones,
Sekou Doumbouya.
Bol.
Bol.
How many guys were pumping Bol?
God, you crushing Bol, man.
Bol.
I don't
Coulda
think
bought Bobo.
he's a great example, but Ja and Zion for sure.
But people, I mean, for me, it's like people were pumping Bol. People were actually pumping Bol, right?
I
He
know.
had done nothing. Literally nothing. And it was actually a thing to buy Bol cards.
Yeah.
Like, look at that.
Look.
It was actually a thing to buy Bol cards. And these are the people that are going to be getting the products, not the old timer who will tell you the truth about the Topps product, who will tell you, it's not that great this year. I think last year was better. Or, it's selling for $180 a box, but I don't really think that's that great of a price. Maybe you should just wait. Because there are hobby shops that will do that. That won't dump this stuff on you. But now we're moving into an era where you're going to be graded on a 3-point scale. And if you can generate that, they're looking for that parabolic hockey stick graph. They don't care if people buy Bol and they get burned. They don't care.
Not at all.
In fact, that will get you a higher score at Fanatics if you can create that hype and that parabolic hype. So the hype train is going to get even worse. The hype train is going to get even bigger. And there's going to be more and more and more people in this hobby that are going to get sucked into it. And there's going to be people out there that are going to say, oh, you should know better. You should know better not to buy Bol. No, actually they don't. You should know better than buy Jackson Holiday. Well, that's easy to say now. If Jackson Holiday was batting .359, you guys would all have 8-inch cocks and not being on Pornhub. You'd be on eBay trying to buy his cards. Am I wrong? If Jackson Holiday was batting 359, there'd be about 3 videos a day.
You
and
couldn't
3
even
posts
go-
on social- You couldn't even go 2 seconds without talking about him.
Without talking about him. Every other tweet from the collectibles guru or Eric Whiteback would be about Jackson Holiday and somebody pulling some card of his.
Big card, or this is coming up in Series 1. This is coming up in Update. This is coming up in Top Scrum. This is coming up in 5-star. This is coming up, like this is coming. But what can we point to now in the baseball season? Ellie fucking De La Cruz? Motherfucker probably can't even speak English.
I didn't even know. What is he doing this year?
I think he's having a good season, but the motherfucker can't even speak English, and his name sounds like a fucking Taco Bell value menu.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Strikes out a hell of a lot. 249 average. So boom or bust. Some power. That's a small ballpark there in Cincinnati. So those numbers might even go up as the summer rolls in. But, he's a career 239 hitter. 9 home runs is nice, a third of the way through the season. So what is he on pace for? 27 home runs? Like I said, you got to be hitting 40. You got to be getting 40 balls.
40 balls.
You got to have 40. If you don't have 40,
hey,
it don't matter what you do. Doesn't matter what you do. Julio Rodriguez had better stats than Ellie De La Cruz. Look what he's doing. Does anybody but want to be buying Julio Rodriguez right now? Oh, but he'll have a big second half.
They need him to have a big second half.
Yeah, great. He'll hit 280, 20 bombs. Great. Nobody will fucking care. Nobody cares once these guys, the shine wears off. Nobody cares about Mike Trout anymore. He was actually good.
Now everybody shit stalks him.
Well, because he's he's injury prone.
I got a text message from Trump, and he says that justice is dead in America. So just wanted to pass that on.
I have not been keeping up on the political stuff. I'm more in tune to the females in the Los Angeles surrounding area than I am on anything political. But sounds like there's always drama surrounding that, surrounding those two parties.
I mean, the drama involved a porn star female. So, needless to say, the women can get you in a little bit of trouble.
We're talking about the wrong thing. We should.
Maybe.
We're definitely talking about the wrong thing.
Maybe. Any other topics for tonight?
No, I did want to take a deep dive on these card prices. Our boy Luka Doncic is 27. It looks like he will be making his first NBA Finals 7 years into the league. So I wanted to, talk about that and the fact that his cards haven't budged in the last couple of years. We were one of the only people who were right in this industry, and we're telling you to sell these fucking cards years ago, and that they were overvalued, and that the 7 titles were already baked in. And that no matter what happens, they could sweep the Celtics and could average 40 points a game, and nobody will care.
Nobody.
I know that shocks people, but nobody will care. Remember, Jeff Wilson was the one who told you, wait till the playoffs and wait till they do something. Nobody will care. More people care about the Anthony Edwards move than anything done with Luka Doncic. His card price is already baked in. You think about him, how you think about him. A lot of people have a negative outlook on him because he complains after every fucking play. I mean, he's a little baby out there. And if you're not a fan of him, you just see him as a little bitch. So 7 years in the league. Looks like he might make his first NBA Finals.
Wow.
It'll give us something to watch over the course of the next couple weeks. So probably one of the very few times that we as Lakers fans will likely be rooting for the Boston Celtics. So that'll be interesting.
I don't really. I mean, like, I don't get offended when the Celtics win as a Lakers fan. I don't care because the Lakers, if they get their shit together, can win plenty of titles. So
I think Kyrie in the finals against his former team. I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Now, did I pay too much for this? Kobe Bryant card. Looks like there's about 12 seconds left. The autograph's a little bubbly. No question about that.
I mean,
We
with a
got
jersey,
jersey.
that's nice.
Number 1 of 25. SGC
Wow, okay.
9.
I mean, take that to Burbank. What are we gonna get?
Good question. I actually have no idea. Looks like I did win it for about 15, 25 total. So that's probably a little more than I like to spend on Kobe autographs. But I mean, we pulled up some 6-figure cards of Ronald Acuna, Fernando Tatis, and Wander Franco. So I'm never gonna apologize for spending.
They ain't making any
$1,500
more of
on
those.
some Kobe autographs.
They ain't making any more of those. So that's the bottom line. They ain't making no more of those.
So we'll take it. But that's all I had. Do you want to go for the
Okay.
questions?
Why the hell not? Big Cost Music Channel, $50. Celtics and 5 regardless. Thank you, sir. $50. Very much appreciated. Joe Barrett with the $5. Barry Lamar Bonds, Pirates Hall of Famer, MLB Hall of Famer next. We'll see. We'll see.
God dang
I think
right.
I think it would make the game more popular if they would actually recognize some of the players that have contributed to the popularity of the game instead of being little bitches. The Card Fanatic. Do you guys think that NY is going to be a great sell show? Anybody heard what athletes will be signing? They announced some athletes. I think you have Jerry Rice attending. If you scroll down, I think they've got some of the athletes. Jerry Rice is now attending. Allen Iverson. I think Emmitt Smith. Some of them are photo op and autographs. Some are just autographs. Like the Tom Brady, he's not autographed. Like you might be able to get it like in a promo pack or something, but Tom Brady and Jeter are not going there to sign autographs.
Main stage panel, it says.
Yeah.
On
so
Friday.
he'll be up there for like 20 minutes. And we'll probably see him in the lobby of the Pendry, but he ain't gonna be there for very long. He ain't signing autographs. But they actually say like Hogan autographs photo ops.
Right. Gary V.
Eli
panel.
Manning autograph photo ops. I don't think I actually don't think, to answer the question, I don't think it's going to be a great sell show.
No.
I don't think it's going to be a great buying show. I think you go to NYC to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours at this thing. Maybe one day I'll spend a little longer than that. But you go to NYC to go eat at Michelin star restaurants, and you go to the Diamond District and go see all these, jewelry and watches. You go to any of the, for me, I got to go to Wall Street and I got to try to get on the trading floor. That's why I'm going.
Yeah, it's not going to be you're not going to show up like in Cleveland and there's just going to be 1,200 dealer tables. Like you're going to show up, there's a collector zone, there's going to be a break zone, there's going to be autographs, there's a main stage, a center stage, a hobby workshop, some kind of thing, a Fanatic store that'll just be all their jerseys and clothes, a streetwear zone, a kids zone. So it's more like if you've ever been to like the Super Bowl experience or some of these other things where it's like, I went to the UFC one time in Vegas, and it's more like kind of a immersive event. Will there be dealers there, maybe buying and selling? Yeah, but not. You want to go to Burbank and you want to go to the National if you're trying to play that game. Really, you could go to any show, and there's probably going to be some rebackers buying at 85%.
Yeah.
So
I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of people counting dollars at the NYC show because they're going to be coming back off of Cleveland. They're going to spend if you got employees and 80 employees like Backyard Breaks, you can be posting up in NYC and thinking how much you just spent on polo shirts and getting people in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And, you ain't going to be cutting deals at the place. So I don't think it's going to be a great card show. I'm certainly not going there. I'm not bringing any cards. And I'm not going to go looking for that. I'm just going to go have fun, eat some good food, walk around the city of New York, and enjoy, in my opinion, despite the politics and some of the stuff that happens there, probably one of the coolest places in the world. And, for 3 days, I mean, I wouldn't live there, but I can manage 3 days there and have a good time. So that's personally what I think. But and look, if you need Jerry Rice, maybe he doesn't go to the East Coast very much. Maybe he doesn't sign in New York City very much. So there's your shot. Some of these other guys, they might not sign on the East Coast very much. They might be out here on the West Coast. So might be your shot to get them. I'm sure there'll be more announcements and things going on, but that's it. Dirty Bird loaded up today. Started with 20.
Dang.
You did good. Jesus save us.
Damn right.
Thank you. Damn right. $20. Then he went to more 20. We're Stone, slow down. I can talk very fast. Been trained. Get those videos 8 minutes and then cut them off, man, because nobody watches longer than that. Although I had a video on YouTube go viral last week. 134,000 views so far.
Whoa.
That was
About
a big
what?
one. NVIDIA.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Every single day it still gets like 5
How
to
much money
10,000
do you
views.
make on a video that gets 174,000 views?
I will tell you. I will tell you. Bring it up right here. I'll even show
Over
it.
500?
Yeah, well, about 1,000.
$1,000?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
So, and there's the view count, 134.9. And that's in I can't remember when I posted that. That was on the 22nd. So 8 days. $1,000. Not bad. Pretty good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Got my booth at the
Nice.
Fanatics event, 3K all in. Whoa.
Okay.
That's like $1,000 a day, right?
That sounds
Tuesday.
about right, though.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you can't,
$1,000 a day?
if you as a business can't generate $1,000 in value having a table at this,
Sure.
come on,
Or like
sell
a
it to
booth
me.
or something.
Yeah,
like,
sell it to me.
That's just the price to get there. I wonder if this
That's
thing will be
crazy.
like a conference and some of these guys will have the booth honeys,
Ooh.
like I was at CES and the booth honeys were, oh my
Sign me up.
goodness, on another level.
Sign me up.
How much did that cost? Yeah, she's
real.
there. Be fun. Yeah,
Maybe she will
3K
be.
all in, and that's before I just booked a flight. I booked with points, so I'm not exactly sure how much it cost, but the Pendry was a lot. I can't remember how much that was, but I think it's going to be like a five. If I go to the Louis store in the Diamond District, it's definitely going to be a 5-figure trip. Dirty Bird went up to 40, and he said, "I'm so done. I want to smoke a doobie with the Mantle rookie." Hey, if I had a Mantle rookie, I'd let you do whatever you want with it.
You can roll
Fortunately,
it
I'm
with the
not.
mantle.
Yeah, fortunately, I do not have one. And Tim said, "Hey, why don't you smoke one with me?" Okay, with the Hyundai.
There it is.
Dirty Bird. Brian Bayless, our office shut down and we work from home now. Let us take anything we wanted. Took all the ink cartridges that sold on good money on eBay, made about 400. Hey,
Bang.
this is it right here.
That's the
This
grip.
sounds great. Let us take anything we wanted. Took all the ink. I love that. That is
Dang.
amazing. That is awesome. White Sox Tom, Luka had 20 points in the first quarter. Well, his cards went down. Your boner got about an inch bigger, White Sox Tom. But 99 people listed their Luka cards that they've been holding, watching them go down over the past 2 years. And they're going to, what do you think is going to happen to everybody that has held his cards for 2 years? What do you think they're going to do over the next
List them.
2 weeks? So before you guys get a boner over Luka, just understand what's about to happen. Everybody and their brother is going to list them, and you still have to win the finals because Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero were in the finals last year, guys, and none of you guys are talking about them. You have to win the finals.
You have to win. You gotta win.
And even if you win, how much people do are Draymond Green cards, Ryan, flying off the show? How many rings does Draymond Green have? A lot.
We could look
Klay
at guys
Thompson.
who have,
Klay Thompson. How many rings does Klay Thompson have? Okay.
well, what has this dude's cards done in the last year?
They're up.
They're up 21%.
but minus fees, minus inflation, and you're down. Nobody's made any money selling his cards. Period.
It'll
Dirty
be
Bird,
interesting to come
$100.
back. What are this guy's cards worth in 6 months?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Are you
I
back
think
down
we've
to
seen the
even?
peak. We've seen the peak. We've seen the peak. Peak's in. Dirty Bird, $100. PPP. Guys, that was the easy money. The PPP was, come on. Tim, do you have a favorite card in your collection? I think he said Flesh and Blood. Boy, you should have seen the money I made on Flesh and Blood. Man. God, I love Flesh and Blood. The whole
And
world
the
is
Roger
rigged.
Federer rookie autos.
And Roger.
Roger Federer, baby.
The thing is, the tennis clientele, the people that watch tennis are wearing Rolexes and fucking, Gucci shoes and shit. So it's like those people have money. It's like the people that watch baseball are fucking like middle-aged white men that work at Burger King. It's like they don't have any money. Dirty Bird again. Trust me. You buy it, it's rigged. Gambling. I agree. These backyard guys, they've got it all figured out. 80 employees. I don't know why you got to have 80 employees. Cameron Brink and Betsy Higgins, dual auto refractor. It needs to happen. We'd be a buyer. Joe Barrett, thank you. Autodidact University. When Magnus gets Stockton, he gets stopped. I think he got beat. I'm going to have to watch that recap. I think he got beat by Prague. Somebody needs to come out with a chess set, man. You got Magnus and Hikaru, and you got Hans Niemann, you've got Prague, you've got the other Indian that's in the World Championship. I mean, you could have a great chess set, and it'd be worth a lot, because if you go on YouTube and you see how many people watch chess videos, it is a worldwide global sport. Global sport, unlike most of the sports that we watch here in the United States. I'd be a buyer. The fuck is a repacker? Pork Palin. Yeah, I don't know. Show up at the NYC event. That's all you'll see is these repackers. I'm the sunscreen. SCR. You guys still think Luka Doncic sucks? Laugh out loud. You guys don't know shit. Stick with golf. I was out on the golf course today. Playing with a buddy. I had about a 30-footer. And he said, I'll give you 100 if I make the putt. What do you think I did, Ryan?
Drano, baby.
Drano. Got a honey. So that was nice. No, Luka Doncic, he priced in everything, guys. That's why it sucked as an investment. You guys were getting sold Luka Doncic as an investment, and we were telling you this is not an investment. It is priced in. Everything is priced in. You didn't get in on the ground floor. You didn't buy his cards before everybody knew about him. You bought him when everybody had 9 rings on his finger and that he's generational. That's when you bought. And the bottom line is he's in his 7th year. He's in a decline athletically and physically. As of right now, he has not made an NBA Finals, and he hasn't won shit in his whole life. And even if you win tonight, that is nothing. Period. You have to win the finals.
Most people didn't grow up Lakers fans and don't realize that. So we got to understand that people think making the finals is an accomplishment. It absolutely is not.
No, it's not. You
got
can
to
be
win.
happy as a Mavs fan. God only knows if the Bengals win a Super Bowl over the next couple of years, I'm going to be happy, but I'm not going to get in chat rooms saying, oh my God, you've got to slurp Joe Burrow's dick. It doesn't matter. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Patrick Mahomes. Win one fucking title and I'll be happy. And if Luka gets you one title, you should be fucking happy, but you didn't make any money on him. Period. End of story. You didn't make nothing.
Yeah.
Good luck. All 5 kids driving me nuts. Peace. Dirty Bird, thank you with the 5 kids.
Dang, the 5 kids.
The most successful people in the world have kids because the kids motivate you every single morning. I bought my first Rolex, Ryan, after I had a kid. I bought a nice house as my wife was pregnant.
I probably have like 6 illegitimate kids, so
okay. So
I probably have 6 or 7 kids floating around out there.
Fair enough. kids that you take care of. You know, like I was doing okay, and then I had kids, and my whole life has changed financially. People think, oh, you're not going to have time, and they're going to make you broke. No. Have some kids, and you will be like Dirty Bird, and you can dust off $400 or $500 on a stream and not even think about it, because like you know, the next day you're going to wake up and go get that money.
Can be very motivating.
You want to talk about a player who lived up to the hype and no one cares? Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper's a great player. Won a World Series, I believe, already. Couple MVPs. And like he said, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Unless you're a Phillies fan. He's having a great season. 280.
Great player. 319 home runs, 280. Amazing player.
31.
But
31. But it's over.
He's lived, and a guy who we've been hearing about since he was 16 years old.
Right. Yeah.
And so here's a guy who has lived up 140 home run season, by the way. Remember, Ronald Acuna is going to have to hit 40 home runs per year for the next 5 years to reach Mike Trout. Our boy Bryce Harper has done it, you know, just one time. But a great player.
Drama
Absolutely
Queen
great
cards.
player.
I made money off Luca. You wouldn't believe what I got. Should I call in? No, because what did you put the money in? You had Luca, but did you also have Bobo? Did you also have Zion? Did you also have Tyler Hero? You didn't super collect Luca.
If you got in and out of Luca, if you got in at Luca in late 20, early 2019, 2020, and you sold, but again, that's the new strategy that Jeff and Card Collector 2 would have to do. You got to get it in and out of these cards quickly, or you got to put them in a repack. Remember, these were sold as investments. These were sold as investments. Buy and hold. That's what Gary Vee said.
Wait for the MVPs.
No, wait to give them to your grandkids. That's what we were told. I have clips of Gary Vee saying, I can't wait to give my sports cards to my grandkids. These were investments. Yes, I believe that people bought and resold Luka Doncic cards. I could probably prove that I made money on Luka Doncic cards because I get in and out of these cards quickly, unless it's Kobe or somebody that I like, or a picture of a woman. So I believe, yes, if you got in and out of these cards quickly, yes, you did that. I do not believe anybody bought these cards in 2018 or 2019 and are still sitting on them, unless they're just big fans of his.
No, nobody made money. And we're talking like actual money.
No,
none of these NBA players.
A part of the cog to make money, similar to what Card Collector 2 and Jeff Wilson try to do every day, just flip cards.
Sure.
And so, yeah, they've got to sell you the dream and the hype that these things are going to be worth money.
Right.
And he's generational.
Right. I mean, I've made money selling stocks, and I'm in a house that I bought from that. I certainly don't buy Rolexes with money that I get from my salary. I bought The Joint Chiropractic, and it went up like 9 million%, and I sold it and bought a Rolex. None of these NBA players can touch the career of Shaq, Barkley, Chris Webber, and their cards are pennies. I agree. Wilkins. Jeff sold his company 352. Did he sell it? Did you see Unicorn? Did you see the transaction? Did he sell it? Did he tell you he sold it? What did he sell it for? What did he have into it? What was the exit?
Why is he telling you that he sold it?
And why did he sell it?
Why is he telling everybody? I thought they were separate businesses. That's all I fucking heard when we were talking about the PPP loans. Guys, you don't understand business.
And again, we have with Jeff Wilson already, he pricing in the fact that he's a tech investor and that he should have sold 352 for a profit. So Unicorn Cupcake, you're on your knees slurping Jeff Wilson when he's doing something that he's supposed to do. It's like a daddy taking care of his son. It's like, oh, good job. No, that's what you're fucking supposed to do. He invested in a company and he sold it. Wow. Now you want us to slap him on the ass with you? Really? Really? He did exactly what he was supposed to do. And you want to suck his fucking dick and have us slap him on the ass? Stop. Guys, some of you guys, your life is so pathetic that you have to slap Jeff Wilson on the ass after he sells a company. You don't know if he actually made money on the company. You don't know what he sold it for. You don't know why he sold it. Maybe he's got bills to pay because he's made a bunch of other shitty investments. And so he's got to sell the one asset that's actually good. And you want to go slap another man on the ass for selling a company?
I thought it was struggling, though. I thought he said it was his. I thought it was struggling. So was it struggling? Was it struggling?
Or did he turn it around on the government money and then he sold it? So we're supposed to slap a man on the ass for turning his company around using our money, taxpayers' money. Unicorn Cupcake probably doesn't actually pay taxes. He's still sitting at home with mommy and daddy. He had to like get on the secret internet connection so he could actually tune into the stream. But do you actually want us to slap another man on the ass for selling his business?
Well, I tell you what, half this hobby, they're either the PR agents for Jeff Wilson, Card Collector 2, or Luka Doncic.
Right. Unpaid.
Because unpaid.
Unpaid.
Public relations.
At least Fanatics will
employees.
toss us some allocation, Ryan. If we jerk off Fanatics, we'll get some allocation. Half of these guys want Grant Telford to fucking suck their dick, and they don't even get anything in the break. They want Jeff Wilson to suck them off, and they have to still pay for market movers. They want Card Collector 2 to mention him on an Instagram story, and he's still only going to offer him 20 off on his cards. Some of you guys are so desperate for acceptance. I don't get it. What are your thoughts on the 84 Jordan, quote, private sale? Again, pump and dump. Pump and dump. That's all it is. This is a pump and dump. And somebody's like, oh, we saw the bank records. Guys, go to your Google Chrome account. Oh, so download Google Chrome. Go to your bank account. If you're Schwab, if you're Citi, if you're Bank of America, open it up. Open up your bank account and then go to like inspection view or developer view on Google Chrome and look at the source code. And now go to your balance on Google Chrome. Maybe it's $10 for some of you guys, like Unicorn Cupcake probably has $10 in his bank account. Guys like our man Dirty Bird, he's probably got a couple mil. But go to Google Chrome. You can change the source code in Google Chrome to make your bank account balance say anything. You can add any transaction, and then you can hit refresh on Google Chrome, and there it is, almost like a real working web page. So when you guys see these guys like, oh, look at my Robinhood account, look at my Fidelity account, I got $1 million, I've been trading Palantir stock like a boss. It's fake. You can make anything look like anything on Google Chrome.
The Jesse Craig guy has faked stuff before. Here's an article on our website from 5 years ago. And he was in bed with this guy, Will Jamett of Heroes of Sport, and they ran a repack product before repacks were actually popular. And they created a private Facebook group where they claimed to be selling this product. They said they were sold out of 25 spots. They said, we've sold out of this product called The Truth. Well, how come just a week later, 22 of the 25 cards ended up on PWCC's website where Jesse Craig was working? Looks like they maybe probably just scammed 3 people is what happened there. They got 3 people to buy into the break. They ran the break, they scammed the break, and then they put the rest of the cards on PWCC. And I get that that's too complicated for the people who run PR for Card Collector 2, Jeff Wilson and Luka Doncic to understand, but that's what happened. Jesse Craig, the guy who reported the fucking whatever, the $1 million Michael Jordan card that everybody's going nuts over, all it takes in this industry is for somebody to give you a little nod and everybody will fucking talk about it.
They'll just take it at face value.
Take it at face value as well. I mean, Jesse Craig is a guy who has literally scammed people in this hobby. So whether or not the bank transaction is real or not, I think it is fair to have some context. Jesse Craig worked for PWCC. He was the co-owner of Heroes of Sport. And look, we could have a 3-hour show on the scams that were run by PWCC and Heroes of Sport.
I just don't. I don't trust anybody that says, "Look at my bank statement." That is like, you can.
I think there are people. I think there are people in this industry. The Collect is one of them. The other media, many of the other media outlets are also in bed with us. They just want to see card prices go up. It was when Wander Franco got fucking busted in his Chris Hansen moment, and we were the only ones saying sell, 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 sell. It's over, it's over, it's over. And that's Wander Franco. He had just gotten busted for being with a 14-year-old girl. And there were idiots in this hobby saying, well, now might be a good time to buy. Innocent until proven guilty. That's how stupid the people in this industry are. They're too busy running PR for Wilson, Card Collector 2, and Luka Doncic to understand the history of Jesse Craig. Yeah, now they want to do it for Jesse Craig. Next time you do a little story on Jesse Craig, ask him about Heroes of Sport, ask him about the product, The Truth, ask him how they claimed the breaks were sold out. The break was sold out, but 22 of the 25 cards ended up on PWCC where Jesse Craig worked. Again, the hobby doesn't realize that 3 people got scammed here. This is a really good scam. Could still run this scam today with these repack products.
And Razes. I mean, this is
Razes. And this is 5 years ago. And that's just one scam. That's just one scam that these guys did. I just wanted to point out one scam. Again, we could have a 2-hour show on PWCC and Heroes of Sport and some of the other stuff they did. And funneled loaded boxes to their top customers, aka Boomin and David Gelfman. Some of you dorks are probably watching. Jesse Craig and some of you dorks are probably watching the show. Probably watching the show. Just laughing their ass off. Be like, yep, we got Darren Ravel to fucking talk about the $1 million Jordan card, and all those stupid YouTubers just started talking about it and debating the 86 Fleer and the Star card. Because you guys are gullible as fuck.
Just hook, line, and sinker. It's like they're writing the script. It's like Hollywood. They just write in the script.
Right in the script. And then you'll just go run PR for Jeff Wilson, Card Collector 2, and Luka fucking Doncic.
You know who hasn't been doing that is AI Sports. He's run a series of videos this week that I've watched, enjoyed the content, and he has to
endure the hate. He has to endure all these haters from within the industry and the anonymous ones telling him that he's wearing a tinfoil hat and he shouldn't answer questions and he shouldn't ask questions. He's been the one person be like, hey, should we really be talking? I think Ziggy had a video too where he actually mentioned our article. Like, should we really be listening to Jesse fucking Craig? Should Jesse Craig have any fucking validity at all? But you just get one person, whether it's Darren Ravel, whether it's Jeff Wilson, whether it's any of these dorks to talk about you. And, $1 million sale verified, guys. Let's start debating the Star and the Fleer card. Let's have that debate for an hour.
Right.
Fuck me. I mean, Michael's great. I mean, if you want to spend money on Michael Jordan cards, I'm never surprised if a rare Michael Jordan card sells for a lot of money. But if Jesse Craig's reporting it, I'd rather just talk about another Michael fucking Jordan card, honestly, that sells for, here's an autograph for $6,000. The guy's alive. The guy's still alive, and his autograph sells for $6,000. Excuse me, $5,000. That's as worthy to talk about than some stupid Star card in PSA 9 condition that nobody will ever own. Literally nobody, but maybe 1 or 2 people, good old boys, will own.
It'll get traded back and forth for the next year. Meanwhile, the hype is great for people like me that are selling $2 Michael Jordan cards, because that's the stuff that actually people can afford on a mass scale.
Well, and the
David's-
Jordan hype, it does help. The big sales help the small sales. So in
Sure.
some respect, yeah, when these dorks go crazy over these cards that nobody will ever own, nobody will own these fucking cards.
No,
But let's have a debate about the fucking Fleer and the Star.
no. Tim, do you have a favorite grading company? Here we go.
PSA.
There we go. He likes his women in PSA condition and likes his cards in PSA slabs. That's for sure.
Goddamn right, baby.
PSA stands for piece of ass. Is that an acronym that makes any sense? No.
That was great.
Really? Think so? I don't think
I'll take it.
I don't think it makes sense. The
Doesn't
wolf
work,
shirt
but we'll
guy.
take it.
Years later, nobody wants to admit SCR been right the entire time, except for us. We'll gladly get on here and take victory laps as long as we possibly can. I'm sure we'll be sitting here a year later. Luka might have a ring, he might not, but his cards are going to be down. Period. End of story. And minus selling fees and jerk off fees and Joe Biden inflation, and they're going to be down even more. This is the peak. This is when you're going to sell. This is when everybody's going to sell.
You better
David
hope he
Snyder.
doesn't choke. I guess there's that risk that he chokes against the Celtics. What will that do
I
to
know,
his cards?
yeah, that's why I would be selling. If you were still on the gold standard, would the card market be healthier? Does Jeff have gold in the Cards HQ vault? I'm going to say no on that last one. The gold standard, I mean, that's such a long discussion, and it's late. It's like 10:46 on the East Coast. I don't want to put people to bed, but we're so far off the gold standard that that's never coming back. But I do buy gold watches for a reason. That's for sure. Opinion on soccer. I don't know anything about soccer. I buy soccer card. I bought like 150 soccer cards. I've sold some of them. And that, I mean, I just look at it as you buy it for the right price, you sell it for the right price. It should heat up. Obviously, you've got the World Cup every couple of years. They have this other tournament that's coming. I think it's going to be held in China, maybe. Or maybe it's here in the United States. I don't know. But they have it. They're actually creating a new world tournament run in the off years of the World Cup. So that should be coming very soon. It was supposed to be held during COVID, but obviously COVID happened and it got delayed. But that is more likely coming because you have big tech wanting to buy the rights to it. I think Apple is rumored to pay $2 or $3 billion for the exclusive rights to air the games. And so you have this tournament that's coming. That's an international tournament, World Cup style. That is likely coming. And it might even be a for sure thing. I only go off the headlines I see from I'm not following soccer. So, but soccer's in good hands. It's a global sport. There's always going to be players. There's some longevity in the game. There's a ton of kids that play the sport, and men's and women's, both sides. So
Get in and out quick. Just
in and
play
out
the
quick. I don't
Jeff-
care what it. I
Yeah.
don't care what it is. I don't care what
Unless
it
it's
is.
Cameron Brink, get in and out quick.
I'd be in and out of that quick. If you see Jeff at NYC, are you going to say hi and give him high fives? No. I'm not going to NYC and even going to give us a lot of thought about Jeff Wilson, or Michael Rubin, or really anybody other than fans of the show, people that I've known in this hobby for a long time, that maybe I've never met in person. And honestly, which Michelin star restaurant I'm eating at every night. That's all I'm going to care about. Where I'm eating for lunch, what I'm eating for dinner. That's all I'm going to care about.
Man, who's paying?
And who's paying? Who can I get to pay? Who can I get to pay? That's it. So, but I'm definitely not going to be, if I see Jeff, I'm definitely not going to go out of my way. He's not somebody that I need to have a conversation with. And it's not awkward for me to be in the same vicinity. I'm assuming he's going to come to Burbank too, probably tighter quarters than the Javits Center. Do I really care? No.
People don't realize we've been going to these events for the better part of over a decade, and at least I can speak for myself. I've had many awkward moments. I mean, the one with Tom Fish where we're walking where he's telling me, why don't you talk about these other guys that's hacked websites? And I'm just laughing and, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
We've had many, many, many awkward moments. The employees at Tops, I've had super awkward moments with them where their hands are shaking and they come up to me and talk to me. I've had awkward moments with Mike Smith of Cardboard Connection. Just to name a few.
The more awkward it is and the more weird it is, the better. That'd be
I love awkward moments. I love being in like a super awkward moment. So I'm ready for it. Hopefully there are cameras rolling. If we do, I think the venue's big enough to where, and my total times in this venue probably won't be very long. I mean, probably won't be seeing very many people who attend. But if we do, hopefully cameras are rolling and it's super, super awkward because I love those things. And then we can come back and talk about it on the show.
But hey, shouldn't Jeff be staying at the Caliber Hotel that we're staying at? If he's a baller, that's where he'd be. So maybe we'll see him in the lobby.
That'd be great.
Ballers should check out the Edge in NYC. Ballers should check out the Edge. Okay, I'll check it out.
Should I be careful about?
Oh, that's true.
Okay, it looks like it's not a strip club. It looks like I was like, is this a strip club?
Honestly, kind of scared of heights. That's not my thing.
That's a little sketch ball. Yeah, this looks a little sketch.
No thanks. That I am not. I would not want to do that. There's so many more things I would rather do than that. That is not one of them. I would not be excited.
You don't want to do this? You don't want to do this right here?
God no. Couldn't pay me. There have to be a huge sum of money. Not even like a roll. You're like, hey, Rolex sub, you do that. I would be like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm probably good too.
I wouldn't do it. I'm just not. Heights are not really I'm not really super excited about stuff like that. For some people, this is really cool, but for me, no. I'll be on the ground. That's where I'll be. How good do Rick Fox sell cards? I don't know. I haven't sold Rick Fox cards. I haven't sold any Rick Fox cards, really. I don't think they do well.
His autograph is on the right card, 15,
right card.
$20.
You have to get it right. I mean, with any player, you get it right, you can sell it. But I'm talking about, again, I've been selling on eBay Michael Jordan cards for 40 days. A little bit of Kobe, a little bit of some other stuff, but it's primarily Jordan and Kobe. To be able to sell through 241 cards, you got to be able to constantly be buying them and selling them. I mean, I got a fat stack of Jordans over here. This is like half of them. You got to be able to buy this stuff every single day and get it listed, get it priced, and move it, and then package it up and sell it. Rick Fox, even if his cards were selling, it'd be hard to get enough of them to sell them, honestly. Dirtiest Bird was Andre Rison's arsonist girlfriend.
Oh, from TLC?
Yeah, maybe.
Isn't that the story? Left Eye or whatever?
Yeah. Sports Card Lyle says he bought Luka as soon as he saw his mom at the draft.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I mean, come on.
Where's
the
his mom
real
now?
investment? I think they were suing each other, but maybe they've rekindled.
That's right.
There was some kind of beef, but maybe they're back in the fold here.
Maybe. Still looking pretty good. Those are older photos.
She's looking great, baby. We'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Luka's mom's got it going on.
Would you say she's invited to the Pendry?
Boy, she's invited anywhere we're at, baby. We get Luka's mom in the house. Come on. Tim,
the CEO of PSA. That'd be a good salary, probably. Google dinner in Sky in Dubai. I think I've seen this.
We could go visit our boy Hamdi.
Yeah, we could. We got a little hookup. I'm going to talk to him this week. Maybe try to weasel my way into a job.
This is psycho. This is psycho.
No
this
thanks.
is fucking psycho.
No thanks. No thanks. No.
Are you fucking kidding me?
way. No way I would ever do this.
Are you?
There's
You
no
got to
way.
pay for this?
Yeah, right. Even if somebody paid for
That's
me, I would not go.
Fucking
Not my,
psycho.
not my thing. It's just not
No,
my thing.
this is psycho. What? Like, no, this is out of control.
Guys, what is also out of control is the end of this show. Thank you, Dirty Bird. Thank you, everybody that contributed. Thank you.
Next week we will have a new sponsor.
Oh my
CB
God.
Hobby. Is
No.
Speaking of dollar signs.
Oh my God, we're gonna have a
So
sponsor.
Get ready for us to
We
be
are moving up.
pimping the CB Hobby, baby.
What is this? CBHobby.com?
CBHobby.com, guys.
Oh my God.
Get ready.
CBHobby.com.
The sports card grift. Sports card radio grift is in full effect, baby.
Let's drive
We
some
have a
sales. CBHobby.com.
We have a
right?
sponsor. We're gonna have promo codes. If you call into the Sports Card Radio Show, it will be sponsored by the CB
We didn't
Hobby
throw out
call-in
the,
line.
do we want to throw out the call-in line or are you done?
No, we're doing it next week because it's sponsored by CB Hobby, guys.
Okay. But yeah, next week, for those of I had a lot of people come up to me to the show a couple weeks ago, said they loved the call-ins. And so, of course, we do an entire 3-hour show or 2.5-hour show where we don't do any call-ins.
So get ready because now you can call in courtesy once again of CBHobby.com.
Okay.
Free shipping on orders over $250.
That's okay. There we go.
So get
Where is
excited.
CB Hobby based out of? Like, where's this establishment located? Do we know?
Northeast Wisconsin,
Beautiful
baby.
Wisconsin. Nothing wrong with that.
You goddamn
I love
right.
it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. We will have, sorry, we did not do any call-ins this week, but we will do call-ins next week. Sponsored
we
by
will be
CB
doing
Hobby.
call-ins.
And
Yes.
we expect everybody to get to work on that. But folks, it is now nearly 11 o'clock on the East Coast. It's about 8 p.m. Pacific time. And Luka Doncic, in his 7th year in the NBA,
Yes.
has finally made it to
Finally
an
made
NBA
it to the NBA Finals.
He has not won a big game yet. He has not actually won anything in his career, but he's actually has a shot at it over the next 2 weeks against the great Celtics organization.
I think if they win, I think if the Mavericks win the night they win, if that's not on a Thursday, we should go live and just and eat the crow live on air. Take the
All right.
L. Just
All right,
take
there we
the
go.
L.
There we
So
go.
if
Well,
the
I think
Mavericks
maybe
win,
either way, you got to like a close, whatever the closeout game. If the Celtics are going, we can get on here and slam dunk that. Haha,
that's
Luka.
true.
hasn't won anything.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And if
Fair
it's
enough.
either way, we're either going to be dunking the ball or it'll be
Take the L.
everybody, oh, Luka Doncic, I told you, blah, 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 blah.
I want you guys to call into the CB Hobby
There we go. There we go.
hotline and tell us how good Luka Doncic is
Okay.
if and
There
when
we
he
go.
wins a title.
If and when. Okay.
So we'll take the L. We'll either
Okay.
take the L or we'll do a victory lap if the Celtics win.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Folks, thank you for tuning in tonight. Join us at the Javits Center in August. Join us at the Burbank Card Show the week later. If you don't go there, you're a fucking scrub.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. We'll be back some other time. Trump 2024, not guilty. Thanks for tuning in. We're out of here.
No.
A lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3. But Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we're talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on cardstock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt. Cause the market's down and you're down. It's all your fault. You ruined the hobby I love with the bullshit. Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love. Look at your bullshit. Jeff Wilson. Did you dip me out? I think you dipped you out. Shake shit like a GOBs, like it's wholesale thing with the mid-NTs. Taking money from the people to pay most of them are broke, but that's okay. He's getting money even better tax-free, loving all the stimulus, the PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. What's going on with that PPP? You've done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but y'all got it all getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we're talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on card stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt. Cause the market's down and you're down, it's all your fault. You ruined the hobby I love with the bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Did you dip me out? I think you dipped you out. What you talking about? I don't think you did, yeah. It's just shake shit like a GOBs, like it's wholesale thing with the mid-NTs. Taking money from the people to pay most of them are broke, but that's okay. He's getting money even better tax-free, loving all the stimulus, the PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson.
Not guilty.